Hello MATHerrifics! For today's video, we will recall the fundamentals of algebra that will help you solve functions. This lecture video is actually the third part of the recap. If you missed the first and the second part, it talks about the rules of exponents and operations on polynomials. In this lecture, we will recall how to factor out polynomials. For me, of all the topics covered in this chapter, factoring polynomials is probably the most important topic. So again, this is Princess Joy Bugambal, and I will be guiding you all throughout the course in general mathematics. If you have any problems, questions, clarifications, or even suggestions, please do leave a comment and I'll be glad to assist you. So mga ka-MATHerrifics, let's start! So let's start out by talking a little bit about just what factoring is. Factoring is the process by which we go about determining what we multiplied to get the given quantity. We actually do this all the time with numbers. We can also use negative integers like -1 times -18, -2 times -9, -3 and -6. For instance, here are a variety of ways to factor the number 18. We have 1 times 18, 2 times 9, 3 times 6. Now, what we have done here is that we gathered multiples or factors of 18. And this process is what we called as factoring. Now, let's try to factor out these binomials. As you can see, we have literal coefficients, wherein most of the students are afraid with this. Okay, so again, let's try to factor out these binomials. But I believe that at the end of this video, you can factor out polynomials on your own precisely. Okay, so let's start. Let's try to find out the factors of this polynomial. So let's have first x squared minus 16. So the first thing that we should do is to get the factors of -16. From the previous slide, we tried to look for the factors of positive 18. So we're just doing the same. So we have positive 4, negative 4. Now actually, x squared minus 16 is a trinomial, but we can only see two terms since its middle term is equal to 0. Now after getting the factors, we have to get the sum that is equal to 0. What sum or which sum are we talking about? From the factors, we have to look for the sum that will be equal to 0. As you can see, we have factors of 4 and -4. So those factors will be the factors of our polynomial x squared minus 16. And this is the final answer. Now, if we are going to check our answer, you can use FOIL method. And the answer will be x squared minus 16. Now let's have number 2. Same process, get the factors. And then after getting the factors, look for the sum. Sum that is equal to 0. Now for the factors of -25, we only have two numbers. But we have three possible factors. Again, get the sum, which will be equal to 0. So the factors will be x minus 5 and x plus 5. That's it. As simple as that. Now, you will notice that the factors are numbers that is the same. For the first example, we have -4 and +4. For the second example, we have -5 and +5. So I think that will be your technique in solving this kind of polynomial or finding out the factors of this polynomial. So okay, so we are done with the first set of examples. For me, the previous examples are the easiest part in factoring polynomials. Okay, so since we are done with the easiest part, now let's add a bit of challenge with this set of examples. In this set, we are going to factor out quadratic polynomials in the form of x squared plus by plus c. Okay, so let's try to answer this. Factoring quadratic polynomials in the form of x squared plus by plus c. But before that, let me introduce to you the steps. So the first step is you have to get the factors of our constant term, or the c, in the form of x squared plus by plus c. For the second step, from the factors, you have to get the sum. Now for the third step, get the factors whose sum is equal to the middle term. Okay, so sum that will result is the same with the second term. Okay, so I think I only have 3 steps just to figure out the factors of these quadratic polynomials. So our constant term is negative 15. So get the factors. And we have 3, positive 3 times negative 5, 5 times negative 3. So second step is to add the factors. So we have positive 14, negative 14, negative 2, and positive 2. Now for the third step, we have to get the sum that is the same with the second term. Our second term is positive 2. So the factors that we are looking for is positive 5 and negative 3. So with these factors, we are now able to get the factors of x squared plus 2x minus 15. How? It will be like this: x plus 5 times x minus 3. And that is the final answer. Okay, let's have the second one. So the steps will be just the same. We only have 3 steps. So get the factors of 24. We have 24 times 1, 1 times 24. And may I just remind you guys that we can also use negative numbers, since it will still result with positive 24. Like for example, we have negative 6 and negative 4. Next is we have to get the sum. We have 25, this is also 25, 10, and negative 10. So we are looking for the sum that will be the same with the second term. And what we're looking for is negative 6 and negative 4. Then that will be the factors. We have x minus 6 and x minus 4. Now if you want to check your answer, you can multiply these binomials and you will produce, or the product will be the same with x squared minus 10x plus 24. Now let's have the last one, factors of 9. So let's add. We have 10 and 6. I mean 9. So the final answer will be x plus 3 times x plus 3.